All right, folks, also another case that we're keeping you updated on, that is the case of Botham Jean, the brother who was shot and killed by Dallas police officer Amber Geiger. Of course, the data stored in Jean's door may hold the key to whether or not the officer who killed him told the truth about what happened. She said she mistakenly went to the wrong apartment, found the door open, saw Jean, though he was shot, thought he was an intruder, and shot and killed him. But then she gave a previous testimony where she said she had issues when it comes to unlocking the door. Now, the doors that they were used there automatically closed. And so if you saw the video that was on social media, those doors don't stay open. Literally, when they're open, it automatically closes unless somebody is holding it. Also, because of those particular locks, they actually are electronic locks, and they're able to get the data that is inside of those locks. And Dallas police, they've already captured the data from Jean's door and Amber Geiger's door. And that data, again, could very well tell exactly what happened. So we'll keep you tuned to that. Now, of course, there's been a clergy reaction to this. You've had a number of black pastors who have been protesting as a result. We had Reverend Dr. Frederick Douglass Haynes on the show on Monday. Well, in the pulpit, a couple of pastors talked about this. Several pastors did, and wanted to show you the video. One pastor, one who's white, one pastor is black, about this. First up is Concord Baptist Church Pastor Brian Carter. He said that, look, black folks can't always trust a system when it comes to when one of us is shot and killed by a cop.
Friends, I came by to tell you this is going to be a long process. This is just the beginning of the process. There's still a grand jury that's going to come. There's still a trial. This is going to be a long process. Somebody this week tried to say to me, we have to learn how to trust the process. And I said that's easy for some to say. When you run the process, you built the process, you own the process, and you've benefited from the process. People that look like me, we don't trust the process. The process ain't been good to us. Process put us in the back of the bus. Process gave us inferior educations. Process kept us out of certain jobs. Process kept us out of certain schools. Process gave us longer sentences. Process gave us hardship crime. Process treated us wrong. Process profiled us before we were walking down the street. Process ain't been good to the people that look like me. So it's hard for me to trust the process. Process has been bad to me a long time. So it's hard to trust the process.
Now, yesterday we also showed you Pastor George Mason of the Wilshire Baptist Church in Dallas speaking out on the racism or the racism inherent in the treatment of Botham Jean and the cop who shot him. Here he is talking about what happened when a group of black pastors met with white pastors to talk about Botham Jean, and among those pastors was Brian Carter, also Bishop T.D. Jakes of the Potter's House in Dallas.
One black pastor thanked the white pastors for being there, but expressed frustration with what he called the way white churches have privatized the gospel so much so that it keeps our congregations from understanding that the call for justice is not optional for Christians. And he wondered why we don't speak out more. We leave it to them. They're on their own. Bishop Jakes talked about how hard it is convincing the black youths in his church to stay with the Christian way of following a nonviolent Jesus when they're hearing lots of things from other people who say that's not getting us anywhere, and a culture that's dominated by white preaching that is continually defending policies that are rooted in white supremacy and racism. He says, I believe you care because you're in this room, but we need to know more than where your heart is. We need to hear you say clearly in your pulpits and in the streets that white supremacy and racism is wrong, and no more generalizations. I know it will cost you something to do so, but isn't that what Jesus calls us all to do? to deny ourselves, take up our cross, and follow him? It is. And psst, not just preachers. If we want to call ourselves by the name of Jesus, we have to stop defending things Jesus would condemn.
You can tell the difference between the black church and the white church. That one was mighty quiet compared to what happened with Pastor Brian Carter. And so we will certainly be keeping you updated on this case as well. And again, one of the reasons why we have Roland Martin Unfiltered is because cable news networks and others don't necessarily cover our stuff the way we do and the way it should be done.